So when the fuck are you gonna start talking about Killer Klowns? It's already been a year and you've done nothing but stay in that position.
What? I was just building up the anticipation.
I don't care if you are, this joke isn't even funny. Stop with the pointing and get blabbing about why this is your favorite guilty pleasure horror movie from the 1980s.
I was just gonna get to it before you interrupted. Jeez Louise, you're such an impatient wax job, aren't you?
Just get on with it, you shriveling maggot.
Hello there, mine gorgeous friend, and welcome to yet another festive season of Horrorween. Tonight's spooktacular spectacular is going to be a film from the 1980s. 1988 to be exact. When you thought horror films like Friday the 13th, Halloween, and whatever else came in that era, got to you, then there was sci-fi horror, The Thing, The Blob, the 1980s version to be exact, because I'm talking about the 1980s. But out of the weirdest and zaniest and craziest of them all came forth a Hades B-grade horror film called
Killer Klowns from Outer Space. You've hyped it up, now let's get into it.
Yes, let's get straight into it.
It begins in space, zooming through the galaxy with an uproarious build-up done by the John Williams Symphony Orchestra. I didn't know Gene Hackman was in Killer Klowns.
That's Superman, you dimwit.
Yes, I know, I was only making a joke since I've seen so many films start off in the stars. Star Wars, Alien, you name it. 75% of sci-fi films start off in the stars, and this is no exception. The music builds up a creepy vibe with shivering laughter in the background, and then boom! Title screen with an amazing theme tune for Killer Klowns by a very forgotten punk band known as the Dickies. Yeah, that's the name alright. It provides that classic circus tune you all know and hate/love done with the electric guitar, and the whole vibe gets you into what's to come. It's nighttime in the lovely town of Crescent Cove, and everyone is going to diners, teens are buying bags of beer branded by beer, teens are bopping on Makeout Point, my least favourite place to go, and the sheriff of this part of town isn't having any of your shit. So this film was directed by the Chiodo brothers, whom also work with practical and special effects for movies like Critters, aka Token Gremlins, this part from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and the very scary Ernest Scared Stupid. They had a clear passion to put this movie out and must have had a field day with all the designs, sets, costumes, props and the overall story. And surprisingly, this was a one-off production, the only film they made, which is rather surprising. Then again, this is a cult low-budget film that wasn't all too successful at the local theatre in 1988. We get to Makeout Point and there's brothers who are looking to score some women in an ice cream truck, other teens making out, and our main characters Mike and his ghoul friend Debbie are also present, who are drinking wine, in a life raft, in the backseat of a car.
How romantic. Give me 10 sedatives, please.
A shooting star appears and crashes into the forest, and they decide to go check it out. Not before the farmer and his beloved pooh-bearer, dog, decide to check out the ruckus, and looky, the circus is in town. Well, the forest, not town, but you get what I mean. This happens.
Where's my dog? Where's my Pooh Bear? I'll tear this thing apart with my bare hands!
Classic effect, and now Mike and Debbie go inside and find out that this carnival house is stranger than you think. Before they have their say on the colourful insides of this bizarre set, I'd like to compliment the wackiness and full creativity of this clown spaceship. The multitude of patterns around the field and the coloured lighting craft this as an ultimate 80s fest. It works in a lot of ways due to the fact that clowns themselves have bright hair. If there existed alien clowns, I would believe this would be the interior design 100%. The best thing is the cheap elevator. It's a simple effect, but it's believable that the characters are traversing up so many flights. Also, this energy source room is very detailed and perfectly pink, especially with the average lightning effects given in that pizzazz it needs. Mike and Debbie find the room filled with cotton candy, and me personally, I would love that popcorn machine, please. Look at all the switches and gizmos, it's spectacular. They find out that the cotton candy contains people inside of them, especially the farmer, people they've kidnapped, and this scene really showcases how dangerous the clowns are. They freak out and then one of the clowns are revealed and shoot the popcorn out of a gun. This is when you realise how cheesy the music is and how goofy the movie can actually become. Tall Clown here creates a balloon dog and traces the whereabouts of the popcorn that's been falling off the two, and it's a stupid little chase, but you get something disgustingly cute at the very least. Also, what are you holding there, my friendly clown? Nothing? You forgot to hold the balloon dog. You thought we wouldn't notice? The couple get to the police station to inform about the situation and say that there's been a murder. Of course, it's a bit hard to believe, especially from Deputy Mooney, who I must say is probably the best character in the whole entire film. He does not give a single fuck about these pesky teens he secretly drinks, and when he gets calls from lots of townspeople about clown invasions, he thinks it's all a prank.
There are clowns and they are killing people, over.
Okay, let me get this straight. You say there are clowns, and you've seen him. Okay, Dave, that's it. Screw you and your college flunkies. I've had enough of this from you and from everyone else. I know what you guys are trying to do. Break me down, drive me out of the force. Well, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than a lame prank like this to get Curtis Mooney to throw in his badge, so fuck you!
It's hilarious. John Vernon, who you might know from National Lampoon's Animal House and Herbie Goes Bananas, shows off a brilliant act and makes this film 1,000 times better. So Deputy Dave, which is cool to say, takes them to the scene of the crime, and there's a bit of tension between them, as the deputy is Debbie's ex. A typical situation, I must say. Debbie gets dropped off to shower later. As Mike and Dave get there, the ship is gone and the clowns have already left to the town. And I must admit, this scene where the clowns are slowly walking down the street is great. The music is what seals the deal.
Comedy.
The music delivers different moods. It will use your keyboard orchestra and silly strings, but will every now and then keep it 80s with some classic guitar chords like in this scene. It's short and sweet but packs a punch. You'll mostly remember the main theme afterwards though. It leads to Mike being arrested for fraud and it's pretty cliche, but later on is excused as Lover's Lane has been cocooned to full expression. Either that, or their good times were so good they crystallize into pink sugar.
Disgusting children. I love it.
What was that?
Nothing. Continue on, my friend.
This is where the fun of the film begins, as the various clowns decide to terrorize the town in comedic and at times horrific ways. They drive invisible cars, scaring other drivers to launch them off cliffs. That was a great sentence to say. One of the comical clowns makes a mess in the old guy's convenience store, and his reactions are so helpless and hilarious. I'd probably be the same if this ever happened to me. Sometimes their ploys are stupid, like standing still like a mime. They make shadow puppets and create the most obtuse things that I would never expect bulging fingers to accomplish. Reminds me of Gremlins 2, the new batch, when the Gremlins stop the movie entirely and make a bunny rabbit and Abe Lincoln. And then the dinosaur puppet eats up the viewers, which is pretty satisfying. Other mischief occurs like a puppet show in the middle of a small park. What the heck is this kid doing at this time of night? Probably finished bowling with his friends, but oh no, the ray gun turns him into a cotton candy cocoon. The clowns deliver pizza, send romantic chocolate, and the humans don't even bat an eye to their creepy Botox-lipped alien-esque faces with their coloured hairdos. The big boy here is definitely an alien without a doubt, and this one looks like a dinosaur reptile. They all have different character and personality to them, which makes each clown unique and memorable. The red-haired clown is the common design, but all of their makeup and prosthetics are detailed to make the most gruesome looking granddaddy faces on the planet. They're stretched with the smiles, and for clown haters, it'll make them more scary. And as I'm talking about these erupting sections of clown chaos, the visual special effects and practical effects are low budget, but well done. Of course, the special effects are shiny, have a glossiness, and contain some legitimate 80s electricity and lightning. It's nothing special, and when someone is zapped into a cocoon transitioning to the practical cocoon, it's not done the best. But you can excuse it though, as the practical effects are the main course of the meal. The guns were probably kids' toys originally, and they painted over them and they became a cotton candy ray gun and a popcorn shotgun. The small vehicle is a typical clown cliche and works to a full T with its design. The cotton candy cocoons have to be the the best design out of them all. It's simple, but it's a very convincing effect. When Mike tears off some to reveal the farmer, it's shocking whilst not taking itself too seriously. My favourite scene in the entirety of this horror is definitely when the little clown comes up to this macho, rebellious 80s biker gang with a small tricycle. Meatloaf here asks if he could ride the bike and then smashes it, leaving the clown upset. All of a sudden he zooms up in the air, comes down immediately, and this part ensues.
What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?
Hell yeah! Sure, these critters are the bad guys and we should be rooting for the heroes, but we'll give them one for that. To make the clowns even more sinister, the major creepy part of the whole movie is when a little girl who is having dinner with her family sees one of the clowns riding on the electronic horse outside, playing peekaboo, imploring her to come outside. She isn't afraid of clowns, so of course, she slowly walks out to the door. The music sets this scene to be very creepy, and it really is, if you excuse the fact that the clown is holding a large yellow hammer behind his hand. Of course, the girl gets pulled back in by her mum and leaves the clown snarling.
That's a shame. I was looking forward to that.
That's a bit messed up, but okay.
Mooney keeps on getting those calls and thoroughly ignores them, whereas Mike and Dave have seen enough stuff happen for them to get back to the station. But the reptile clown comes before they do and plays a game with Mooney. He thinks it's just another teen doing a prank and tries to put it in prison. It sprays water on him, pranks him with false hands, goes into the prison itself, but you know the true clown colours when Mooney whacks it in the back. It sets another sense of threat from these seemingly non-creepy aliens, unless you are scared of clowns in general. Dave returns to the station and the clown is using Mooney as a puppet. It's actually intimidating watching this part play out. The dim lighting, the build-up beforehand, seeing all the red painted footsteps and cocooned prisoners and pink atmosphere. When the clown pulls the hand out of Mooney's back, it's so slick and sick, sinister and comical at the same time. Dave shoots at the clown, and the weak point is their red nose. Because of course it is. It's like the obvious weak spot from a video game boss. All the town has to do is get a radio dispatch to all townsfolk that have guns or a melee weapon to explode their glittering noses, and boom, we'll be done. It's a nitpick, but it just had to be the obvious part of a clown. It's a glorious death for clowns though, as they sparkle into a spinning diamond exploding on impact. Meanwhile, Mike is meeting up with those ice cream bros, and they've been trying to get some good ice cream, if you know what I mean. They're supposed to be the comic relief, but are honestly rather annoying. Of course they are. They're the ice cream truck workers and argue like a comedy routine from Saturday Night Live. The bad kind. So Mike uses their microphone traversing Crescent Cove and warns all the townspeople the clowns have invaded, and goes as well as a protagonist screaming in the middle of nowhere in any horror film. Debbie has been preparing a shower this whole time, and the popcorn is more than it seems. There's a cool bit where this popcorn piece crawls on the floor, so you know it's sentient. Sentient popcorn, that's a new one. And when she gets out, they turn into creepy clown head nozzles that I would love to put into my own shower, thank you very much.
You don't even shower.
Shush you.
They bite her, and she struggles. I must say that this is a very nice bathroom. Enticing tiles, classic light blue/green wall. Anyway, I do love these creatures stretching their way to take a bite out of Debbie, although their bites are very soft from what it looks like. I personally didn't feel like they were biting into her shoulder whatsoever. No massive amounts of blood and all the pressure of Debbie screaming in pain. A cool effect, but doesn't leave a major impact. I get more impact when Debbie shoves the shower head into the clown worm's mouth. Trying to escape her own house, clowns set up this small as heck trampoline for her to get down on, and then she gets captured, put into a giant balloon force field, which is odd, because wouldn't she just be another part of the cocoon chain? I guess because she's the main character, we have to make her the damsel in distress and continue the plot forward, or she's research or something like that. It would have been bold if she was killed, and then it'd probably give Mike more of a teenager incentive to get revenge on the clowns, where Dave has to remorse him and keep Mike's cool, while also keeping his own. Or make it a buddy duo where they go rampaging in the third act. It's fine though, it's a film from the 80s and it's just having a lot of fun in general. And I should talk about the characters, but they are rather bland and stereotypical, but that's not a bad thing for a B-grade horror movie. Mike is the charming guy who is curious, gets concerned very fast, and doesn't think before his action. He decides to slam on the accelerator rather than press the brakes. But hey, his sweater is Nice. Debbie is a damsel in distress. But I do like her ballsiness occasionally, and she doesn't scream like most screamers. Dave is my second favourite. He's dramatic, he keeps his cool in the situation, and he gives a damn about all the townspeople and wants to make sure everyone is alright, including Debbie. Their interactions start off groggy as there's some tension in the air, and they all don't have thorough trust in each other, but by the end, they're like the best friends of a TV sitcom drama. Okay? Then there's the comic relief. Meh. Mooney is the best, though.
Frig yous all. You ain't gonna get the best of me.
Also, before Debbie was captured, the clowns were having a parade, and by parade I mean a raid, with Twizzlers, streams, glitter, a vacuum car that sucks up all those turned into cocoons. The newly formed gang with Mike, Dave and the Ice Cream Bros chase after Debbie in the clown car, and the clowns are definitely going to their sacred haven, an amusement park.
Of course. What a stupid movie this is.
Stupidly amazing.
No, just stupid in general. I have no idea why you watch this garbage.
Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that I can't like it.
Whatever.
Anyway, the clowns throw acidic pies at the security guard, and he melts, leaving the little clown to put a large cherry on top. It's oozy and creamy, but if you put aside the fact, the red strawberry glazing is that guy's blood and guts. The crew get into the park themselves and then becomes an ultimate trip of set design. Entering the carnival UFO, it shows a myriad of simplistic patterns, usage of party materials such as balloons, poles, for those kinds of parties, and moving and rotating shapes. There's a lot of black backgrounds which keeps the popping hot pink screens and reds to pop up. You can tell they've entered a set in California or some random building complex with enough space that even Under the Skin could take. It's still pretty inviting. Then you find out what those cocoons are used for, and it's funny, gross, yet surprisingly delicious and sets as to why these clowns deserve to be taken out. Because the previous stuff beforehand wasn't worthy of them being destroyed. This sneaky large clown decides to get a sip of some sugary medicine and slurps it all from this chaotic and intense roller coaster of a straw. This is the epitome of a silly straw, and I want one. They find Debbie and pop her out of the balloon, and leads to yet another chase that a lot of people would wish to be an actual fun house at all the carnivals in the world. The music is bouncy and wacky and sounds a bit like Gremlins, and then they finally make it to the main boss room. And all the clowns are here, except for the numero uno, Dino Clown. Yes, this is a magical beast of scary proportions.
It looks stupid.
It's not that stupid.
It's indomitably stupid.
You're stupid.
You are a pragmatic, egotistical cyst of a living, breathing stupidity.
Okay, but I still think it's pretty great.
While it's cool that this is the final battle and all, it honestly feels a bit rushed. It would have been great if there were a bunch of different rooms like stages that contained each of the different clowns. One room would be a bike race or boxing match with a small clown, maybe some fun little hide and seek round in a ball pit against another clown, trying to hide and then sneak attack it. No, maybe even just a simple confrontation and then one of the clowns is turned into a cotton candy cocoon.
I could still do all this for the sequel, hey. Wink.
Good luck with that. It'd be pointless because you could just shoot their red noses. Every room, enter it, shoot the nose, mission complete.
True, and yeah, that's exactly what happens with the big Dino Clown boss battle. He gets stabbed in the nose and then the whole place explodes. You'd expect them all to be dead, but nope. They got into the clown car and shot into the sky and landed where all the cops are. Mike, Dave and Debbie are safe, even the ice cream fellas. Also, I forgot to mention this part of the movie with the female clown dressing. Classic. And all is safe. They got rid of all the killer clowns from outer space, and... shit. That's not acid, right? Are they normal pies? You might want to go to the hospital, guys. Didn't you see that guard? They're probably just normal pies. And then it fades to credits with that memorable theme tune playing. The end.
And that was Killer Klowns from Outer Space. If you're a fan of B-grade cheesy horror films from the 1980s, then this is a blast to put into your VCR, DVD player, or even the one that I own, a Blu-ray player. I don't know how I got a Blu-ray player, but I killed off some guy many years ago. So, there's plenty enough scenes here that are memorable, there's plenty of quotes to take from, and it's just a fun romp to go through, especially with group gatherings if you haven't killed all of them and put them in body bags, etc. And I'll make sure to turn on the freezer the next time. But, next time, we shall be delving straight deep into...
Wait, we're still going with this?
I still have 10 years worth of horror stuff to talk about, like Resident Evil 2, The Suffering, Obscure, a PlayStation horror demo disc, Vampire the Blood Masquerade, and so many others that we'll be looking at for the future Skull of Skulls, like this next one, which is our first musical album review, Untitled by Sigur Rós. Wasn't expecting that.
No. You did not do this shit. One was enough, you annoying insect. It's too much.
Jeez, Skull of Skulls, calm down. It's fine. It's alright. We'll just do 10 more.
No.
5 more horror.
No, you fucking idiotic cunt. I'm so sick of having to hear your rotten, non-confident voice. Your disgusting mouth of opinionated garbage deserves to be sewed shut, and everything you bring up is irrelevant and too far out there that no one could possibly even care. A shed? Oh my, what a spooky setting to have. Let's spend our time here, why don't we? Where it's cold and drab, just like your lonely and dismissive, wrenching soul.
Skull of Skulls? That really hurt. No, I'm not the greatest person in the world, and I know that it really bothers you when I talk about some things that are important to me and not so important to you. But how about just one more horror thing to, talk about? Together.
No. You really think I would give you back your reality? The good old days with your anatomy of shit? Destroying the master of darkness with nothing? I'm nothing. I'm a part of you. You'll never leave. You have nothing. You got nothing but particles clustered into an ugly form. Everything will melt like your friend. That's the real horror. Not the media you talk about the second you put yourself in. I'm your fucking nightmare. You have no idea if I exist or not. Am I your memory? Is this happening? Your body goes cold, I can feel it. The warm blood leaking out. You must be shivering. Don't fear, you will burn too. I give you one moment to enjoy. You should be grateful. This shed of memories will be installed in your mind. Fragile, unstable. It will all collapse into a pile of ash and charcoal. The thing that once was, all gone. You will be forgotten like this shed. The last breath hopes for a light. There is nothing. It's like closing your eyes. It's peaceful. The only sense of peace you'll ever gain.
But you are nothing. You are nothing. I can only hear you. No one else can.
Let your imagination make you